everyone, and welcome back to Only Venture. Today, I'm incredibly excited to introduce you to our next guest, Mr. Neelesh Bhatia. Neelesh is a true pioneer in education innovation with over 30 years of experience in leading impactful projects across the globe. He's the former founder of and CEO of AKADASIA, the largest online community of teachers in Asia, and currently serves as the Senior Associate Director at NUS Enterprise, where he helps guide the next generation of startups in the ASEAN region. In this first part of the interview, we'll be diving into Neelesh's incredible journey from his beginning as a sound engineer to becoming a key figure in the edtech space. We'll also be exploring how innovation in education is shaping the future of entrepreneurship and how it plays in a crucial role in equipping future leaders with the skills they need to thrive. So sit back, relax, and get ready to be inspired. Hi, could you please share more information about your current role at NUS Enterprise and AKADASIA?
Hi, thanks for having me on this call. My role at NUS Enterprise primarily relates to our flagship program called Block 71. So Block 71 is the incubator for startups across the world that Block 71 has. And my role specifically here is to help them with growth across the ASEAN region. So that's what I do. I basically help grow the Block 71 activities across ASEAN. Now, before I joined NUS Enterprise, I used to be the founder and CEO of AKADASIA, which was the largest online community of teachers across Asia. But that was until 2023. We launched that in 2019 until 2023. Yeah.
Okay. So how do you think innovation plays in education plays a critical role in shaping the future for entrepreneurs?
I think innovation is very important in almost every aspect of our life. It allows us to be more adaptable to new things. And I think when it comes to education specifically, it is important for us to innovate in the way we deliver our content and lessons to the students, because the students today are vastly different from students in the past. Like, for example, the way I grew up, the way I went to school was completely different than what students are doing now today, and the kind of opportunities they have and the kind of learning which they can get and how they can learn. And if educators and edtech companies don't innovate, then we're not moving ahead with the times, and we're not basically talking to the younger generation in the way they want to be spoken to. We're not reaching out to them. So innovation becomes very, very important in education. And also and especially when it comes to entrepreneurship education specifically, if the educators are not innovating, then how are we going to get our future, or rather, how are we going to get our students to be innovators in the future? So it all starts with educators. As educators, we need to kind of be innovative ourselves in the way we teach, what we teach, how we teach, and if we want to kind of even have some hope of our future generation to be innovators.
Okay, thank you. So the next question. The Can I Be Entrepreneur program that Only Venture has stresses the importance of understanding your personal calling. So how did you discover your calling and that edtech is what you wanted to do, and specifically for entrepreneurship, how has that guided your journey into leading you to what you're doing today?
Right. Well, I don't know much about the program that you mentioned, but I can share with you about my journey. My edtech venture, AKADASIA, was not the first startup. My first company that I launched was way back. I've had basically 5 companies. I've started 5 companies.
Oh, wow.
And so it's a pretty long journey. And I've been involved in entrepreneurship in a variety of other ways as well, specifically with entrepreneurship education. The reason I launched my very first business was out of necessity. I haven't gone to business school. I'm a liberal arts grad with English literature as my major and psychology. Which has nothing to do with business. It has nothing to do with entrepreneurship. And I used to be into professional music. I was in fact into sound recording and music production. I did that for, I think, about a decade at a professional level.
Oh, that's so interesting.
Before I actually launched my first business. And the only reason I launched my business at that point was, I had enough of working in a recording studio. I was married. I had a kid. And I wanted to kind of spend more time with my kid, because in the recording studios back then, most of the time we used to work at night, and when I used to come back home in the morning, the kid wouldn't recognize me. So it was a personal decision to kind of stop doing what I was doing and get into something new. And I couldn't get hired because I had no other skill apart from music. And I had to feed a family, so I had to kind of figure out what to do, and that's how I got into my first business, which was basically helping people build recording studios, because that's what I knew. So I started a company to help people build recording studios, right? So that's how I started. It was necessity. But how I got into edtech eventually was, over the last couple of years, in fact, for almost a decade, I was at Singapore Polytechnic. This is after I moved to Singapore many years ago. And at Singapore Polytechnic, my role was I was a founding director for Spinoff, which is their version of NUS Enterprise. It's their entrepreneurship center. It's called Singapore Poly Innovation Office. So I was a founding director for Spinoff, and I was helping students launch their own startups at that point. During that time, I used to travel quite a bit in ASEAN and partner with a lot of local universities. And that's where I realized that a lot of the local universities local universities in ASEAN could not afford learning management systems back then, because those days, this is pre-COVID, the learning management systems were very expensive and they were all in English. And I wanted to kind of see how I can solve that problem specifically for public schools across ASEAN, because the budgets over there are very, very low. So I wanted to build a learning management system which could help address that issue. So I found a problem which I resonated with, and I had enough experience in the education side of things by that time to then step out and say, okay, I'm going to launch my fifth startup. So I basically put my money where my mouth was. I quit my very nice, comfortable job at Singapore Poly to launch AKADASIA.
Oh, wow. Okay. So that's how AKADASIA started.
Thank you so much for joining us in this first part of interview with Mr. Neelesh. I hope you found his insights on innovation in education as inspiring as I did. This is just the beginning. Next week, we'll dive deeper into his personal entrepreneurial journey, the challenges he faced, and how he overcame them with resilience and creativity. So make sure you subscribe to our channel, hit the notification bell, and stay tuned for part 2. We'll see you next time. Keep learning and take care. Bye.